Let's crack the code on social media design for realtors. What are the best real estate social media editing tools and software right now? And which real estate agent social media tool is the best for your budget or your level of experience? Here are my two favorite social media design tools for realtors and a real estate agent social media tutorial for beginners. Hey, Darren Thompson here with Agent Next Level, where we help real estate agents level up further faster with tech. I'm a veteran real estate broker, launched two first-of-its-kind tech innovations in real estate in the last 15 years, and am broker and owner of one of the fastest-growing real estate brokerages in the US. On this channel, we do software and tool reviews and tutorials just like this one, specifically for real estate agents. So if you're new here, definitely subscribe. I'll link up everything we discuss in the description below, along with some helpful timestamps. So let's jump in. There are lots of options when it comes to putting together real estate social media posts and social media content for realtors. It can be completely overwhelming, making it hard to know where to start, which is a bad place because if you're anything like me, that lack of clarity and having too many options can serve as a procrastination tool and prevent taking action. This video will help both new and experienced real estate agents at pretty much any level of graphic design expertise. The real estate social media templates many of these tools use take the guesswork out of creating social media content and posts. So we're about to cover two of my favorite social media design tools for realtors. And in this video, I'm going to run you through a real estate agent social media tutorial for beginners where I'll show you step by step with each tool how I created the YouTube thumbnail for this video. And make sure to stick around to the end because after we've looked at my two favorite social media content tools for real estate agents, I'll also share with you the best site I've found to grab super high quality images to generate attractive real estate social media posts. Oh, and it's free for commercial use no matter what software you're using. And hey, while you're watching, make sure you let me know in the comments below what social media design tools you as a real estate agent are using right now and what your favorite feature is. It's always interesting to hear the experience others are having with their software, and the comments below really do matter, not just to me, but for everyone else watching too. So let's cover two of my favorite social media design tools for realtors. Along the way, I'll run you through a real estate agent social media tutorial for beginners where I'll show you how to create a YouTube thumbnail. My two favorite social media tools for design are Stencil and Snappa. Regardless of both beginning with the letter S, both can pump out some great social media content. I've used a lot of these tools, be it Canva, Crello, PicMonkey. Here's what they all have in common. If it's pitched to you as free, you'll quickly become annoyed by premium features being blocked, and it's frustrating to always feel like you're being nickel and dimed. But it's free. We've all been around long enough to know that there's a business model, a revenue generating business model behind every business. They all have a pretty solid and growing base of templates, including real estate social media templates. And you of course have basic and some advanced editing capabilities right out of the box. At a high level, workflow is pretty much the same across all tools. What I've found is that what differentiates these tools is really ease of use and what you feel most comfortable with. And that's why I'll walk you through creating the same piece of content in Stencil and in Snappa. So let's look at my two favorites one at a time, and we'll build out the same real estate social media post, actually the YouTube thumbnail for this video, with each so you can get a feel for that workflow, the ease of use, and what's the best fit for you. So let's hop over to the computer together and I'll share my screen with you. Thanks for hopping over to Stencil with me. We're going to dive in and take a look as we launch into Stencil here. You'll see that you have a very simple, clean, easy to navigate user interface. You have on the right hand side your canvas where you'll be working on your various pieces of content. You've got navigation along the left. I typically start here on the bottom and click into this area. You've got a bunch of different templates here. So who can keep track of all the various dimensions for social media content? They're all different. They change all the time. And so the nice thing about Stencil and other tools as well is you've got these templates with the correct dimensions. And one nice thing, I'll give you an example here. If I type in the word U for YouTube Studio or YouTube channel art, this is a nice little feature. You can toggle on and off the safe areas of these various pieces of content. So as an example with YouTube channel art, you've got this safe area in the white here, which would show up for whatever device that image is being rendered on. Whereas if you're looking at YouTube on a TV, you've got access to all this space, and then you have these other areas here as well. So that's just something nice that is easy to toggle on and off. So we're going to design a YouTube thumbnail. So I want to select YouTube thumbnail. The dimensions will change automatically for me. And let's just start bringing in our images, our fonts, and get things going here. So what I would like to do next is click on templates over here in the left-hand navigation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down and just my eye is trying to look for something that is a fit. If I don't already have templates built out for my channel, then I'm looking for something that's a fit in terms of the font. And I like this one right here. This actually renders for an ebook cover. So I'm going to go ahead and just click back on YouTube thumbnail. And so now I am on a starting point where I can start to design my thumbnail. I know that I have the correct dimensions of that thumbnail, and we can dive in from here. So I grabbed this template because I like this text here, but there's a number of other things that I'm not a huge fan of. So I'm going to try and get rid of just a couple of things on this template. I've got my own background image, and I put that into my uploads folder. This is the background image I'd like to use for this YouTube thumbnail here. So we'll go ahead and resize this. I'll just drag it out and make it quite large. And you've noticed that I have just dumped that upload onto the canvas. And what I can do is I need to actually expose that font that was behind this canvas. So I can move this back, and there the font just popped up. Perfect. Okay. Very easy to manipulate sizes and fonts. I can choose different fonts with this drop down here. I could upload my own fonts if I wanted to, and we'll go ahead and reduce the size of this. I'd like to go ahead and maybe move this over just a little bit and maybe tilt this. You can really do a lot of different things quite easily. I want to bring in a couple more images, and then I'll start to work on some of the other pieces of this as well. And I can pull those from my uploads folder. I've already uploaded these images. Now with Stencil, you can see here that I have a picture of myself. I've actually removed the background in this image, but I wasn't able to do that in Stencil specifically. I had to use a different tool, which I'll link up in the description below. It's called remove.bg for remove background. It's a website that is free, easy to use. Would be nice to be able to remove that background directly from Stencil, and maybe stick around for the Snappa tutorial, because maybe in Snappa we could do that with one click. Let's take a look and wait for that. I know that I'm going to use a couple of other images that I've uploaded, the Snappa logo, the Stencil logo, and so we'll pull those in. I also want to do a couple of other things. I can click on icons, and this will bring up a number of either shapes or icons or emojis, if you will. I want to do something that I've been trying lately with YouTube thumbnails, which is create essentially a border for the thumbnail. So I'll resize that. I'm going to change the color easily by just clicking on here and make that red. Perfect. Now I know that this is the right size, so I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this 3 times so that I can get it onto the other areas here. I'm going to go ahead and tilt. Perfect. So now I've got a border around my image there. Resize these logos slightly. You can see just very simple app allows you to snap your different images along different guides. So that's super helpful along the way. Couple more logos here. I want to search for the word thumb. Lots of different choices here. Let me bring that onto the canvas by just clicking on it. And let's do clap. Clapping hands, maybe. Yes, there we go. We'll click on that. It'll be dropped onto the canvas for us. We'll resize that, move it down here. Like to have that YouTube logo be visible behind me there. So I'll just shift the background slightly. We'll make the Realtors stand out a little bit, maybe with putting something behind it. We'll add in the other words and we can then save and export our file. And let me speed things up here for you as I finish up these last tasks. We now have a YouTube thumbnail that's been created. We've made sure that it has the correct dimensions. We're able to bring in uploads of various different images that we had. We were able to create a border around this. Now at this point, we can save this to our account. We can download it. And we could even schedule it via social media scheduling tools like Buffer and things of that nature. So pretty neat. And at this point, we're going to jump over into Snappa. Fantastic. Thanks for jumping over to Snappa with me. After logging into Snappa, similar to Stencil, you're going to see a very clean, intuitive, easy to use interface. Again, also based on templates like we saw with Stencil. So Snappa, very similar in nature. We're going to go ahead and select the YouTube thumbnail template, and that'll drop us into choosing a specific template. And again, if you're starting with no templates in mind, you're just getting your channel started or something like that, what I typically like to do is look for styles, fonts that I really like. I actually like this font down here. So we'll use that. In the navigation with Snappa, we've got the canvas, obviously, but we have various other areas of navigation as well. So with background, they allow you to go ahead and click one single button and remove that. We could drop in any of these uploads or these sample images as our background. So right now I'm going to go ahead and just clean up this a little bit more. I have an image that I've already uploaded to be used as a background. One small tip that I've seen, if you're using one of these images as your background, it'll essentially lock to the background itself. But if you want to use an upload that you've already made, I'll click on graphics, uploads. I've already uploaded this image right here, and I want to be able to move this around in terms of the dimensions. If I just made it the background, it would just lock in place and I wouldn't be able to move it at all. So I like to, in this particular case, make this really large so I have the ability to, in the bonus, I'll show you where I actually got this image. So now what we can do is I can move this image back in the stack, if you will, so that I can reveal that font. And you can simply do that by hitting these buttons up here to move the layer back. You can see how that text pops up. Perfect. I want to drop a couple of other graphics. What's nice about Snappa is that within the tool itself, you have one-click background removal. So if I wanted to actually use this particular image here of myself, you can see that there's a background on that. They have a easy one-touch toggle here. So within the app itself, within Snappa, you can remove those backgrounds very easily. Pretty slick, pretty slick. I've actually already done that, so I can use this here. Perfect. I really like this font. You can see here that it's called Cooper Hewitt Heavy. Kind of a difficult name to say 5 times fast, but very nice looking font. So there are a few other things similar to the
thumbnail that we worked on in Stencil. I want to add those borders. I want to fill out the text. I want to drop some more images. I want to drop some icons onto this. So for that, I'm going to just go ahead and speed things up a little bit, and you'll be able to see the workflow as we go through. In Snappa, we've got a duplicate layer feature here, so I can just click that button 3 times, which is nice, and we'll snap these up to the borders to make that border that we had. Very similar in nature to Stencil. I really like how Snappa, you've got some presets on colors. So you have full control, obviously, to whatever color you want to pick, but they do have some nice presets that are already in there for you. You can see there that I added just some white borders around those boxes. I think it makes the text pop a little bit further, so that's nice. So I'll go ahead and add the logos, those icons for the thumbs up and the clap, and we should be ready to go. At that point, we can save our image, we can rename it and save it off to our computer for upload. We could even schedule it via Buffer and other tools as well. And so that's a good look at Snappa. Fantastic. And that wraps up our look at my second favorite tool for social media design for Realtors, Snappa.
Okay, before we get into the bonus pro tip on the best site I've found to get high quality images to generate attractive real estate social media posts, it's recommendation and summary time. As you've seen, Stencil and Snappa are both simple to use, really intuitive, each has tons of templates, and they really do make it easy for realtors and real estate agents to create high quality social media design elements by effectively guiding you through the process. You really don't need to be an advanced technical user to use these tools whatsoever, like you would if you were talking about an Adobe Photoshop, for instance. So here's what I recommend and why. Go with Stencil Pro if you're an agent doing basic social media graphic design. It's simple, intuitive, and it gets the job done. Go with Snappa Pro if you're an agent and you want to level up a bit. I really like, number one, Snappa's out-of-the-box fonts. I think in Snappa, you have more professional looking options than Stencil. I really dig the Cooper Huey Hewitt italicized. That's what's in the thumbnail example we went through together. And number two, Snappa gives you the ability right in the tool itself, the ability to remove backgrounds from your images. So if that's something you could see yourself using, go for Snappa. Snappa Pro is only $1 more per month than Stencil Pro, and I think it's worth it. Bonus time, I wanted to share with you the best site I've found to pick up super high quality images to use when creating attractive real estate social media posts. And the great thing about it, it's free to use for commercial use, and it doesn't matter what software you're using. It's a site called Unsplash. It's similar in look and feel to maybe some sites that you've already tried before, like Pixabay or Pexels. I really like Unsplash. It's super clean. Its search is not bloated with ads for images from other sites where you have to pay. You can search for anything. You can download an image in any number of sizes, all free, even for commercial use. So check it out. I'll link up all these sites in the description below. So there you have it, my two favorite social media design tools for real estate agents, Stencil and Snappa, and a tutorial on how to quickly create a piece of content you can use on social media platforms. If you got some value from this video, hit the like button. It does mean a lot, seriously. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. We'll see you in the next one.